Hello, I am the Gaming Superhero, and to continue our celebration of the miniseries Nobody Saw, I will be making a kit for the Princess of Wakanda, Shuri. I am focusing on making a kit as pretty much just herself, and not Black Panther because of the already existing Panther, and I find this to be more interesting, kit potential-wise, to be in her own tech, and not copying her brother. So, be prepared for that. First, we have some shoutouts to make. And, we have shoutouts to make to everyone, because pretty much everyone guessed it. I did make it quite easy this week, but still, a lot of people guessed, I guess is more shocking. So we have Juliac1508 on YouTube, as well as Leo Chase the Mythmaster, Vitamin D Cosplay 2764, and Mind of the Lion 712, all on YouTube, all got it correct. Very good for them. But then we also go to Discord, where Biggle, Prehistoric Pogfish, have also guessed correctly. So yeah, good job everybody. It's definitely been the week with the most correct guesses. Actually, I don't think anyone guessed it wrong. Nobody gave a wrong guess, so very, very good everybody. Shuri, just Shuri, no other name to go over, not even a last name. She first appeared in Black Panther #2 in 2005. And I'm not talking about her first appearance as Black Panther. This is her introduction period. I thought she would have appeared for a panel early in Black Panther's history, but no, it took him 39 years to acknowledge his sister at all. This is the last character I was expecting to be created in my lifetime. We open on Ross giving a briefing to the National Security Agency about Wakanda and how their government works over the annual challenge for the throne. Like in the movie, except in this there are multiple people to challenge for the throne, all in quick succession. Being watched by all of Wakanda, but especially T'Challa and Shuri's mother, who finds the event nerve-wracking. We also find that Shuri has been barred from going to the fight, but she snuck out and intends to get into the ring and take the throne. But before she can, the current challenger, who is a giant, who gets thrown on top of her, preventing her from entering, allowing another masked challenger to jump in. They fight, and the masked stranger wins. But they also reveal the masked stranger was T'Challa, and the Black Panther who's been fighting all these guys was his uncle. This is a twist for us, the audience, not the characters. This upsets Shuri, though, who states she was robbed by her own brother. We cut back to Ross, who is told that this regime change will force the US to prepare Wakanda as a possible threat, implying some sort of CIA-type government-staged coup. We then cut again to Claw and some random guy going into a happy, fun time place for adults. Not sure what I can say here. But the rando goes in with a hot girl and kisses her, causing a body swap. Except the girl does not enter the man's body, and he just sort of steals her body. She then walks out to get in the car with Claw, who suggests this was set up to finally defeat the Black Panther. And that is the end of our story. Pretty bare bones, not a whole lot. I'm noticing a lot of these early 2000s comics are very short and heavily reliant on tying into each other, almost like they are written as one big story, split into many parts in order to get more books out of it. It's weird. The most notable thing to say about Shuri is how she is very different, very eager to fight, and not very tech-savvy as far as we can see. So let's see how I put her into rivals. She is a support because, like Silver Surfer, there was no other option. Her primary fire is Panther cannons that fire basic projectiles that deal damage, and if the name didn't clue you in, they are those hand cannons she used in the Black Panther movie. No secondary, no movement, and no melee. But she does have a passive called Remote Pilot. When the team has possession of the objective, she will always be pushing it regardless of where she is on the map. So it will always be going like one person was on the objective. This was inspired again by the Black Panther movie when she takes remote control of the car. Thus, my mind was on the payload modes, but this does apply to the other stationary objective modes. Ability 1 is Sneakers. Dated meme aside, this allows her to deploy a zone around herself that stops any allies in it from creating noise and blocks any sort of information abilities from detecting people in the zone. A nice stealth ability to help a small group flank the enemy. Note that this doesn't make you invisible, so enemies can still see you. Ability 2 is Improved Perfection. Select an ally to increase their ability effectiveness. This can mean many things depending on the ability, mostly focused around improving the main focus of that ability. So if the ability's main utility is healing allies, it will do more healing. If it's an ability used for dealing damage, like Moon Knight's big projectile ability, it will do more damage. So on and so forth. Slightly complicated in how it interacts with abilities, but simple in how to use it. This also only applies to abilities, not primary attacks or ultimates, to keep it from getting too out of hand. Ability 3 is Kamoyo Beads. Get 3 charges that you can shoot at enemies to heal them and give a little bit of bonus health. Very similar to Brigitte armor pack, actually, which I'm only now realizing. But what actually inspired me was how they were used for a form of healing in, say it with me now, the movie. On Ross to treat his spine, so I made it a healing ability, with an extra bonus to separate it from Mantis's little healing abilities. This also makes her one of those off healers that I like to do because this is her only form of healing. We now reach her ultimate, which I think is pretty cool. It's called Vibranium Enhancement. You and nearby allies gain special bonus health that when depleted by enemies will cause an explosion that will deal damage to enemies. Now, I plan on the bonus health lasting forever, in that I expect enemies to destroy it eventually, and I guess as a prevention for cheese, if someone does manage to keep the bonus health for long enough for Shuri to build up her ult again, it will not stack. Finally, I gave her a team up with her brother because, of course, they would have a team up. It is called Sibling Bond. It gives Black Panther a new ability that ties into his passive. When his health is low, he can then choose to create a massive explosion around him that damages enemies. Like from the movie, yes. But it's such a cool ability, I'm surprised it isn't already a part of his kit on base. I'd also give the explosion knockback, but to be lore accurate, but that's not as important. Whether it does or doesn't have knockback, I think it's still cool regardless. And that's how I would add the second born royal of Wakanda to Marvel Rivals. Or at least a playable version, because technically, this is the first character I've made to already be in the game. It is exclusively through loading and victory screens, but still. Many people have said it, but the likelihood of her coming to the game is pretty high, but hey, until they actually give her a kit, it's a free game to theorize. A large number of the abilities were inspired by the movie, but ain't nothing wrong with that. Honestly, that movie set the tone for how her tech would feel and be used anyway, so let me know what you think. Is this a good kit for Shuri, or is it a terrible kit? What would you have done differently? Do you have any ideas for skins to give Shuri if she came to the game? Show me in the Discord link in the description. And you're welcome for not jerking you around for months. I mean, seriously, she's been in the game for how long, and she's not even in the leaks or anything? You can't just put a character like that in the game like that and not expect people to want them. Come on.